yourself.
Hey, everybody, it's another episode of Go Flix Yourself. My name is Ben Konowitz, and with me, as always, is the skim milk to my 2%, Bradford Oman.
Hey, that's me. I'm healthier for you.
I don't even know if that's true. It's just less
Skim
fat.
milk. Yeah, it's healthier for you.
You know what, Nate? You can be you're my whole milk.
You complete me.
I don't like the way he says whole milk.
Whole milk.
Because it's a little like emphasis on the H a little higher.
Yeah.
Like whipped cream.
It's like it's making it sound like milk that came from a hole.
Whole milk. Hey, I like that whole milk.
Whip.
Milk from a hole.
You ever had whole milk? Oh,
Do you guys still drink milk at this age or no?
oh dude, I've drank milk.
Okay,
every
let's not
fucking
even
day
get.
of
No,
my
let's
life.
not get into this.
I-
He has a problem.
I love milk.
I'm not.
I opened
milk.
up something here.
Maybe I've never told this story. No, we've told this story.
No, you told the story.
Yeah, we went to go see.
Oh yeah.
Thor 4.
Love milk.
And it was like a hot day, and he was just like, "Oh, a nice cold milk on a hot day will be great."
Nice cold milk chug. Mm-mm.
Oh.
It doesn't mess your stomach up.
No, man. I love
I mean,
milk.
that you know.
I mean, if
If you stop drinking milk for like 2 weeks, you'd be like, "Wow, I don't have the diarrhea every
My
day."
gut feels better.
what do you mean you don't have diarrhea every day?
Exactly.
Are you a skim milk drinker?
Yeah, when I was younger, like my parents used to get 2% milk, and then they started getting skim milk just because it's supposed to be healthier because there's less fat. And so ever since I don't know, middle school or something like that, we've always had.
I mean,
skim
I
milk.
talk a bunch of shit, but I eat cottage cheese for every meal. So
I do.
Yeah, that is an old man thing, by the way.
Listen, I've been doing that since I was 10.
I do still love 2% in whole milk though. I mean, it's real good. Love it.
Hey, Brad,
Big cereal fan.
do you have is milk the sponsor today? Because it sure seems
Oh,
like
I
it.
hope not. 'Cause
You-
my stomach's gonna be so messed
You
up.
wish it was.
Whoa, oh boy! Oh, I don't like where that's going.
No, it's a good one today. You guys,
I don't trust. Anytime you say this, I don't trust it.
you like to party.
I do. Yeah, I like to party.
Like to have a good time.
Yeah, occasionally.
Yeah. My favorite thing about partying is just throwing confetti everywhere.
Okay, listen. I have to clean up whatever you're about to do.
Wait, I
so-
just say, did you get a glitter bomb down here? This is gonna be so much fun.
I got a sugar glitter bomb, and here it goes. No, guys. You know what I have? I have for you today. I have funfetti popcorn, Pillsbury funfetti. You know funfetti, right? The frosting that has the colored speckles in
Yeah,
it.
I like funfetti cake.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you? Funfetti frosting is
No,
delicious.
This is just chemicals.
When did
become-
yeah, seriously. This coming from the guy who chugs a whole gallon of Jack Daniels every
Wait,
day. This
Goop
is just
Konowitz?
chemicals.
Goop Konowitz here. You
Listen, Jack Daniels is triple distilled.
know, he gets organic Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, interesting.
yeah, Dak Daniels.
Dak Daniels.
Dak Daniels. It's their
Ben.
reserve.
Ben, go ahead and get some of this funfetti popcorn. Just get your claw in there. Get some over to Nate. Get him some of that funfetti popcorn.
It smells stale, but you just opened the bag.
It smells stale. It smells like frosting.
It's made
probably.
by. I see. Here's what I don't trust about it.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Here comes
It's made
Papa.
by the Pillsbury people.
Well, Pillsbury makes funfetti.
I know, but they don't make popcorn.
No, so usually when they have these
You give me
partnerships
some
like this,
Orville Redenbacher with some Pillsbury or something like that, and then I'll trust you.
so the thing is usually like Pillsbury makes funfetti, and that's like the brand, but they're usually teaming up with somebody else who already makes popcorn, and there's probably whoever makes the popcorn is probably under the same company that owns Pillsbury anyway.
I have one question for you, Brad.
Here we go.
Why did they forget to flavor it?
Is it not good?
I mean, no, it just
Have you
doesn't
not
taste
tried
like
it?
much.
No, I haven't tried it yet.
Why am I eating it and you haven't yet?
You just saw me open the bag.
But no, I mean, usually you've had like 9 bags of these at home.
No, not this time. Not on this day.
There's like no saturation with the flavor. It's barely there.
I mean, it's just a drizzle, probably, right?
It just doesn't taste
You
like
know what
much.
it tastes kind of like? It tastes like
Oh, what are you talking about? I can taste the.
no, it tastes like Kix cereal.
It does taste like a cereal, honestly.
Yeah, like it tastes like a cereal. Like
It does.
Like a very lightly sweetened cereal.
It tastes. It does. I do get a little bit of frosting taste, but it's like a cake frosting caramel corn, basically.
Yeah, but it's not very
just
good.
the caramel flavor. Yeah, it's okay. I wish it was had a stronger cream cheese frosting.
I wish
flavor.
it was more flavorful.
I agree with you.
Okay, we're all in
I mean,
agreement.
I'm grateful for their sponsorship.
Oh yeah, again, Pillsbury. Wow, knocking it out of the park with that.
We've
that
been thinking
donation.
and hoping and praying
it's
that
got a good
Pillsbury
crunch,
would
though.
sponsor this, and they did.
I think that this would be better if it wasn't funfetti glaze and it was like a funfetti drizzle. I bet you that would have made it better. Where if there's a
What if they just had funfetti and they just cut it up and put it in a package?
Who is the CEO of Pillsbury these
You're
days?
talking about just frosting?
Yep, dried frosting in a package. I like that you were going to shit on it. You're like, actually, I think we have to try that.
What were you gonna say, Nate?
He said, who's the CEO?
Yeah, who is the CEO of Pillsbury? Do you think they listen?
John Pillsbury.
The Doughboy.
Eric Doughboy.
The CEO.
Oh, boy.
That was good.
Wow. Well, it's been a couple weeks. We've been off. We had a nice little...
I've missed you guys, by
nice
the way.
little,
I have missed you guys.
Nice little
Yeah, I
May
realized
break.
I didn't have nearly as much fun last week. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I'm pretty sad.
Yeah.
And now
if
we're
nobody
back.
listened to this podcast, we'd still do this.
We would, honestly.
The funny thing is, I even though we had extra time, like I didn't watch any more stuff. If
I
anything, I watched far less.
It was so I think, honestly, the break from the show meant break from movies. Like, I took a break from movies because of it.
Which isn't bad because we do watch a ton of
Yeah.
crap. But
I did watch a lot of TV though.
Nope.
hey,
Not doing it.
anything
No,
worth talking about?
Huh?
Anything worth talking about?
Nate, what's the last movie you saw, buddy? Nate, what's the last movie you saw, buddy?
Have you seen Clone High?
Nate, what's
What
the
is it?
last movie you saw?
Clone High.
Brad, I'll cut your mic.
You don't even have the power
You
to
don't
do
even
that.
have it.
I'll find out.
I am,
I'll find
I am
a
on
way.
the ones and twos, not you. All right.
I will find a way.
I want to mention Clone High because it's created by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who are the
Is
producers.
this like a show that's been on for a while, though?
So yeah, so the original iteration of Clone High came out in like the early 2000s, and it came out around the time when there was like a lot of popular high school drama shows on MTV. And so it's an animated series that kind of parodies that teenage drama, but it's about a high school where they've made clones of Abraham Lincoln and Gandhi and Joan of Arc and stuff like JFK, but they're teenagers, and so they're watching them in high school, and so they're living these dramatic high school lives, and so it's a very funny animated series. Phil Lord and Chris Miller created it and executive produced it, as did Bill Lawrence, who did Scrubs and
Love
Ted
Bill
Lasso,
Lawrence.
and it has their
And Bill Lawrence did a show called Shrinking.
yes.
Yes.
And it has
fantastic.
has their signature sense of humor. It's very absurd. Has similar kind of shades of 21 Jump Street and the Lego Movie and whatnot.
So, Nate, what's the last movie you saw, buddy?
But it's very funny, and the reason I bring it up is because they've brought it back, and there's a new version of it. There's new episodes of it on Max now. It's not HBO Max; it's just Max. That's a big change since the podcast went away for a couple weeks.
Yeah, we go away for a couple of weeks and they make dumb
I know, right?
decisions.
So
like
yeah,
that.
so there's new episodes, and it focuses on some of the same characters, but it's a different iterations, a different high school kind of thing. So Nate and Ben just did a high five with their toes. It was one of the weirdest things that's happened.
yeah, because it's not a TV podcast, and I'm just trying to distract everybody. Let's go. Nate, what's the last movie you saw, buddy?
Well, the last movie I saw was the movie assigned to me, but I do want to talk about another movie I saw.
Sure.
White Men Can't Jump, the new one. I don't think we talked about this yet.
We haven't.
Have you guys seen it yet?
Yes.
No, I didn't go out of my way to watch it because I heard it was shit.
From me?
No, not just you, everybody.
It's not good.
It's not great. And it's too bad because Ben, what do you think it was missing? Because I don't think the performances were terrible.
So maybe I'll start then, because
Yeah.
I watched White Man Can't Jump, the original.
yeah, which
And
I
then,
love.
and then watched White Man Can't Jump, the new one.
Is the
And
original
we watched them,
still good?
Watched them
That
back
was
to back.
that was probably a disservice. I'll bet.
Well, no, so Bailey and I, and the longtime listeners of the podcast would know that Bailey and I do this thing called The Thing, where
We have sex with each other.
we will watch a
They
movie
don't do that.
and then we don't.
It's a dead bedroom.
We just call it a dead room, okay?
All right.
Anyway, we will watch a movie and then watch its remake. That's back to back.
Yeah.
We started it out because I wanted to introduce her to The Thing, and I accidentally rented the 2014 one because it just just said The Thing. So I rented it without paying attention, and we were like 5 minutes into it. And I was like, wow, this is remastered and it looks amazing. And then I was like, this isn't The Thing. So anyway, so we call it The Thing, and we've done it a bunch. Horror movies typically, because those are the ones that get remade a lot. This was an example, though, of one that we could do. So we watched the original. The original made $92 million at the box office, I think Brad said, and for good reason. It's because the character work that Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes do, and to an extent Rosie Perez, all three of them play these characters, and they play them so earnestly, and they allow the characters to grow as the relationships would grow, but they don't. So in the new one, Woody Harrelson's character is played by
Jack Harlow.
Jack Harlow. It's the same kind of premise where they're just street hustler basketball guys that kind of get forced to play a tournament together. So in the new one, they become like pretty tight best friends in like the first 15 minutes of the movie.
There's not a lot of conflict right there.
In the original, about halfway through the movie, Wesley Snipes fucks over Woody Harrelson pretty good.
Yeah.
About halfway through the film. So there's still animosity, and they still don't know if they can trust each other. That was sorely lacking from the new one, because they really needed to have some sort of stakes there. But instead, the only stakes they built were, we're good friends now, and like let's make sure that we understand that I'm gonna make sure your mental health game is strong. Yikes!
It felt kind of sitcom-y to me.
Yeah.
Like the humor was a little sitcom-y. The characters.
Well, Jack Harlow's delivery was, "Where is the camera?"
Yeah.
I mean, he's just.
And he's not an actor.
No,
right?
and I guess I don't know how he got cast here, because his delivery is just so like reading the words off the page. It's just not good.
Good.
So anyway, if you're gonna watch White Men Can't Jump, do yourself a favor, watch the original. It still holds up. Great movie.
Is it funny at all, the new one?
There are a few
couple lines.
There's a couple lines.
A couple parts that I laughed at, but it just, you kept on, or at least I did. I kept on waiting for it to hit like its stride and be like, okay, now it's going, and it never really got there for me.
Yeah.
And
did they incorporate Jeopardy at all?
no.
Is there any like underlying game show thing for the girlfriend to do?
Nope.
How's Lance Reddick in it?
He's actually probably the best part.
A bright spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
He plays the dad of one of the players.
Okay.
Obviously.
And there's an emotional core there.
And that's something that they never dug into in the original one. You don't ever meet their parents or anything.
No,
like that.
and they chose that angle here, and I don't hate them for it, because again, that the father-son dynamic and why maybe somebody moved away from the game of basketball was explored in that way.
I was gonna say, do they? I can't remember because it's been so long.
They don't even talk about it in the first one.
I was gonna say, do they explore that at
No,
all?
not
They're
first
just
time.
two guys
Yeah.
that are really good at basketball.
Yep.
One of them
Yeah,
is
both of them are hustlers.
very
and-
street savvy.
So this one explores a little bit more of their backstory about how each one of them got there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
they
and
don't,
so-
it's like the new one. They forgot that audiences really don't care about that, as long as the movie's good.
Yeah. I mean, I like the one parent role, right?
Mhm.
That was there was an emotional kind of arc to that I didn't dislike.
And I think that they were trying a little too hard for the emotional connection, rather than making a kind of a silly summer comedy.
Yep. And so it just didn't ever hit its stride
no,
for me.
it didn't.
It almost felt sitcom-y, not great.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks because the original one's great.
Yeah, and we saw the trailer and we weren't
I wasn't
opposed to
hating
seeing it, right?
Yeah.
All right. The other film I saw was a film assigned to me called The Guardian. It was released in September of 2006. Has a 37% on the Rotten Tomatoes score.
Oh.
Underrated. I love this movie.
I know,
I gave it to you because I love this movie.
This was assigned by Ben Konowitz. I will say I think that's low for this. I think this is a pretty good film. It's a film I enjoyed to watch anyway. It wasn't anything that I'm probably going to be recommending to a ton of people or anything.
Wow.
But it was a film that after I was watching it, so essentially the story is Top Gun Maverick Coast Guard. All right. So
Pretty much, yeah.
Kevin Costner is the old guy
Legend.
that is a legend at rescuing people in the Coast Guard. His job, I forget what.
Is he really cold? Is he really cut off from everybody?
Well, the people around him all die, and so yes, he is very like
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's
Very stoic.
Yep, doesn't trust people.
Doesn't show a lot of emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Kevin Costner, every role.
Being Kevin Costner, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Kevin Costner. In this.
Perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the role called for that, so
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Well, those are the only roles he takes. So that's.
well,
He's made a good career of it.
I don't know. I saw No Way Out.
I still haven't seen it.
I
Don't.
haven't seen that. And what's interesting is this was like a foray for Ashton Kutcher to become like an action star a little bit, right? And so
They gave him more than just "Dude, where's my car?"
yeah, exactly.
To do here.
It was like
Dude, where's my boat? Where's my helicopter?
yeah, both of those are in there.
Where's the missing swimmer?
Yeah.
Dude, where's the missing swimmer?
And he wasn't bad, honestly.
He wasn't.
bad.
That's the thing. Like, I think that maybe a lot of the critics saw this and said, "Oh, really? We're casting Ashton Kutcher in this." He did a pretty serviceable. I'm not gonna say he's a great actor, but he did a serviceable job in this one.
And this is why this film is why he didn't do the 8th season of That 70s Show.
Gotcha.
Because he drowned.
Because he was he decided to do this film instead. And
to try to launch a movie career.
So I can understand again.
Sure.
You're seeing this guy from That 70s Show, and again, his character Kelso on That 70s Show is this idiot, right?
Yep.
And he's playing this, kind of a
Elite high school swimmer that wants to be the best,
yeah,
Coast
but
Guard.
he's not dumb. He's not,
Yeah.
these kind of things. But and he's
just
trying to
cocky.
be a leader and these kind of things. I liked it. The one thing I don't know what you think. Again, spoiler alert. Fast forward a couple minutes if you want. So at the end, Kevin Costner dies. Right? They filmed another one where he doesn't die. He actually saves him before. Do you think he needed to die in this film?
I like that he did.
Did you?
Yeah. They do this bullshit at the end where it's like the Guardian is the one that he came out of nowhere and saved me, and it's kind of like a tall tale version of it where
Like with Pecos Bill?
a little bit, honestly, where this Kevin Costner is becoming a merman basically and just saving people randomly. It is a kind of a weird.
So he's the body guardian.
Oh, nice. A little bit. You got a lot of pent up puns, don't you?
I know. It's been 2 weeks.
Trying pretty hard over here.
Got a lot of jokes.
Okay. But yeah, I don't know that they should have done that part of it, but I do like that they end it because a lot of movies don't. They want to have a sequel. They want to have and so putting a finality to it, I think did the movie a good service.
But technically, couldn't they still have a sequel because that makes Ashton Kutcher the Guardian?
Yeah, they could have.
And so then he'll pass the torch on to, I don't know, Taylor Lautner.
And it's been 15 years, so they could do it, today.
I think Ashton Kutcher's just too busy being like a venture capitalist and making like billions of dollars now. But
that's true.
And doing films with Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed this film actually more than I thought I would. I'd never even heard of it. So it was fun to see.
You never heard of the Guardian?
No.
Wow.
I'd never heard of it. Again, it's kind of in that era right after college for me. I wasn't watching a lot of films. It just didn't hit the mark for me. But it was fun. I actually genuinely kind of like Ashton Kutcher. I don't know why. I like him.
Sure.
I think he's silly. Dude, Where's My Car has a special role.
He's fine.
I like him. What's wrong with him?
I just like him for some reason. I like him.
You followed me on Twitter for a while.
I used to A plus K.
I've told this story before.
Yeah.
Wasn't his Twitter name A plus K?
It was, yeah. I think it still is.
Yeah.
Is he on Twitter still?
I mean, not really. Like I think every now and then, but like he definitely doesn't follow me
Do you check
anymore.
just in case he follows you again every once in a while?
No, because it would tell me.
Yeah, he was the first one to 1 million. We all know.
And it happened right around that time. That's when
He was a
started
big
following me.
deal, like early Twitter.
Yeah.
But
He was like competing with CNN and everything.
But yeah, watch this film. It's fun. I like I said, it's not going to be on my top 10 list of anything.
Anybody
But
else?
I didn't hate watching it.
Anybody else of note in it?
Yeah. Neil McDonough. Do you know Neil McDonough?
I know Neil McDonough. Yeah.
Neil McDonough's in it.
He plays like the number 2.
Clancy Brown. Do you know Clancy Brown?
Love Clancy Brown.
Yep.
Clancy Brown. Love Clancy Brown.
Selah Ward is in it. She plays Kevin Costner's.
Oh, I've met her actually. I interviewed her on the set of Independence Day Resurgence.
Oh, yeah.
She was very nice. Yeah, she was paired with Bill Pullman because she
She's,
plays the new president in the movie.
Yeah. Yes. So she's Kevin Costner's wife that he's divorcing. So those kind of people in there. I Neil McDonough. I have this love-hate relationship with. I like a lot of Neil McDonough's roles.
Like Walking Tall.
Well, he was also in the Band of Brothers, and he's one of my favorite characters in Band of Brothers. But he's also now like getting into like right wing roles.
Roles or
just like films, right? The either hyper Christian or
they're paying him.
He's just one of those actors he's just taking what he can get.
Yeah, but he's also in other films. He's not fully like Kevin Sorbo or anything like that.
Yeah,
but I think he just takes whatever.
Fuck Kevin Sorbo.
What's wrong with Kevin Sorbo?
Oh, him and Dean Cain can go suck each other off.
Yeah, but he's not there. But he's in. It wouldn't shock me if Neil McDonough shows up in a Dean Cain film, right? Because he's taking whatever comes his way.
Yeah, them and Scott Baio and Christy Swanson. I got into it with Christy Swanson on Twitter once because she fucking sucks.
I just love you sitting here. Oh, Christy Swanson, I am gonna tweet at you. I'm coming for you now.
She said something real stupid, and I retweeted it and replied. And because I'm verified, like it like notifies her, and so she replied and like was trying to make jokes, and it's just like you just fucking suck, Buffy.
You suck, Buffy.
You're not verified now, though.
No, not anymore.
Yeah, he's
not since Elon Musk fucked everything up.
Brad stopped paying for it.
Ugh.
All right, Ethan Anderton, what have you seen lately?
Like I said, I haven't watched much. I watched Clone High, which has been fun. I've been rewatching Veep.
And that's a TV series.
Yeah,
it is.
Okay,
it is.
We're not doing this, Brad.
Have you guys watched Veep?
I think it's a TV series, right?
Yeah, have you watched it though?
No, my wife loves it, but
it's so funny, and like I've been rewatching it because I watched the first, I think 5 seasons. And then I fell behind and never caught up when it ended. And there were only 2 more seasons after that. And so I've been building a bunch of Lego sets recently that I've been like doing reviews for the sites and stuff like that. And so I put it on in the background to catch up and like watch what I haven't seen. And it has some of the best insults ever written for television. Just sharp, nasty, like really cut to the core of the characters. Like the shit they say to each other is just brutal, and it's hilarious. I love it. But just
does it end? Does the series end strong?
I'm not finished yet, so I'm in the middle of I think the 6th season now. So I got about a season and a half left. So, but it's just great. I love that show. It's a lot of fun.
Does the Veep become the Peep?
She does actually. Veep becomes president for a little bit, and then doesn't because she doesn't win the election to stay.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, so there you go. But it's a lot of fun. Honestly, the only movie I have seen over the past couple weeks, I just kind of steered clear of movies and wasn't really doing much movie watching. As far as I rewatched some stuff like in the background, like School of Rock was on in the background, and
School of Rock.
Clueless and Mean Girls and stuff like that. I love all those movies. But I watched a movie that I was assigned by Nate Loucks. Nate Loucks loves to assign me movies when it's his turn to do so, and. He assigned me a movie called Four Brothers.
Oh yeah,
which is about I think it's about 2 or 3 brothers.
No, I think you're wrong. I think it's 4 brothers.
Is it about 4 brothers?
It's about 4 brothers.
It is. But
I
counted.
The catch is they're not actually brothers.
That's true. Yeah, they're a mix of white and black people.
And then like the guy that brings them together, Marky Mark.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's one of the brothers.
He's he's white.
He's the white one.
Okay.
Though there's another white one played.
See, I can't remember who this.
Yeah,
cast.
I don't even know who's in the casting.
Ooh, you don't
Okay, all right, 4 brothers. It's not Tyrese. No, he's in Too Fast.
I want to say this about Tyrese. we all make fun of Tyrese.
I don't make fun of Tyrese.
I do.
We all make fun of Tyrese because he's not very good in the Fast and Furious movies. But I gotta say, I was watching Four Brothers and I realized that he's just not a good actor.
It is Tyrese then.
Andre.
Wait, Brad, was I right?
Yeah, but he's not one of the white ones.
No, you idiot.
No.
Just the 4 brothers.
Oh yeah,
I got it right. Yeah.
Yeah, Tyrese is one of the 4 brothers.
Okay, yeah. See, I didn't know.
Yeah, and then Andre 3000.
Yep. Okay.
And then Garrett Hedlund.
See, and that's the guy I can see his face, but I don't.
He's the guy from Tron Legacy.
And then Terrence Howard's in it. Josh Charles, Sofia Vergara.
This is a great cast. Chiwetel Ejiofor is in it as like a total douchebag.
Taraji P. Henson.
Taraji P. Henson, a very small role for her. So Sofia Vergara in it before Modern Family took off. But yeah, it has a great cast.
There's a lot of cast, but what did you think of the
great
movie?
Soundtrack. John Singleton directed it. And the movie, it's pretty good, honestly. It only has like I think a 58% on Rotten Tomatoes, something like that.
It's not great. But
wasn't received very well. I think it's a lot of fun though.
That's what I liked.
Yeah, it's super enjoyable. It's pretty formulaic, revenge kind of thriller. It's a little more reckless than I was anticipating. Like they really just don't give a fuck about breaking the law or anything. Like there's a scene where Mark Wahlberg and Tyrese and Andre 3000 just walk into like a high school basketball game, and Mark Wahlberg is like, "All right, hey, trying to find out somebody who witnessed someone shooting my mom." And like everyone's like booing him, and the ref's getting his face. He's like, no, all right, and he just gets out a gun and waves it around. He's like, okay, everyone want to listen now? It's like, Jesus Christ, no one cares about the law here.
And then, so did he go to jail for that in the movie?
No one goes to jail for anything
exactly.
that they do in this movie. And like even Terrence Howard as the cop who is like kind of like he's like, oh, these brothers are trouble. Like they do the typical cop movie thing where he's like, yeah, this is Bobby, used to be a boxer. Like, oh yeah, this guy he's a whole bunch of trouble. But yeah, so like he goes through that, but he doesn't even care when they get into a huge shootout where like people have like automatic rifles that are firing in this neighborhood, but he just lets them off. He's like,
kids being kids.
It's like, as far as I know, it's self-defense. And it's like, oh no.
To be fair, this is set around Detroit.
Yeah.
And it is the Motor City.
It was the Motor City.
Is this not like one of the perfect roles for Mark Wahlberg though? He does kind
absolutely.
of like this is him.
It embodies Marky Mark.
Yeah, especially around this time too. He was doing a lot of movies like this. But yeah, it's enjoyable.
2004?
2005.
It's just one of those films that again, it's not going to be a film that you're going to write to anybody about. But it's just fun. It was a fun film.
Honestly, there's good chemistry between the four leads. I like the ensemble cast. Like I said, it has a really good soundtrack.
I thought that Andre 3000 was going to have a bigger movie career. I like him.
He's done a lot, honestly.
I thought that maybe he would be like.
No, he is
lead.
pretty talented, actually.
Yeah, he's okay. He honestly, I don't think he's great in this. He's fine. He's gotten better, I think, because this was pretty early on when he had just started acting anyway. So, but yeah, overall, it's a fun movie to watch. I enjoyed it. Solid action sequences. It doesn't always go the way that you think it's going to go, which was enjoyable. But yeah, just a fun little action thriller kind of movie.
Okay.
Apparently, at one point there was talk about them doing a sequel called Five Brothers. That's not a joke. That's a real thing. but it just hasn't happened yet. So
okay.
Yeah. Who knows? But yeah, so I had fun with Four Brothers, and maybe you will too.
Is that it? Is that all you?
Yeah, that's all, honestly.
Well, I told you I watched White Men Can't Jump, and then White Man Can't Jump, and then I watched Knock at the Cabin, which I thought was okay. I didn't think it was some of M. Night Shyamalan's best work, but it was fine.
I like that. I actually didn't.
Yeah, I liked it too.
I just didn't. Maybe I was just hoping for more, but.
What didn't you like about it?
The believability of the movie, for those of you that might not know, is that four pretty much strangers. They know each other now, but they met as strangers and were kind of on a quest because they saw visions. So they show up at a cabin in the woods. They knock on the door, and there's a gay couple and their adopted daughter staying at the cabin. And the four strangers make them make a choice. You need to sacrifice one of the three of yourselves. Voluntarily. We can't kill you. You have to make the choice. And if you don't, the world will end. And it's their job to convince the couple and the daughter that this is real. And I didn't think that the movie did a good enough job of laying it out so that it could be believable. There would have been maybe a better way,
but it wasn't that the point. Is it doesn't even they couldn't. This isn't believable, right?
Yeah.
Right. The whole
I thought
thing
that was the whole
yeah.
tension of it, the psychological part of
yeah,
it.
See, Ben and I had the same conversation off podcast when I talked to him about
off
it.
podcast,
and I told him the same thing. I was like, it doesn't matter. Like it's like for me.
That's kind of the subtext of the film.
For me, like the twist in the movie is in the middle of the movie for the reason because it is real.
Yep.
Like they're not crazy. It's actually happening. And then you have to sit with that the rest of the movie and thinking, how the fuck do you get out of this?
Yeah, and like wait a second, they're not crazy.
Yeah.
Right? I really like Dave Bautista in this as well.
No,
yeah, he's great.
So the thing that I was telling Brad off podcast, the performances are
do you
very
guys have
good.
do you guys just like kind of talk about everything we're going to talk about on the podcast?
We do a rehearsal, and that's why, honestly, you're a little behind. We sound pretty polished.
He's also never as good in the rehearsal, which is why I have to
you have to. You're coaching him.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is the professional version of Ben Konowitz. You get this because of what Brad does.
Yeah, like in the rehearsal, he was like, "I saw Knock at the Cabin, not Spike Lee's best movie, but
but honestly, better than Air Bud 2,
which Spike Lee also directed. Golden Receiver.
Yep,
that's what it's called.
I know. Listen,
it's a football movie.
Wait, you're looking at me like I don't know what Air Bud 2 is called.
What's the third one called?
Air Bud 3, Going the Distance.
Pretty sure it's called World Pup.
Probably because it's about soccer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So Dave Bautista though. Good.
No, so the performances are very good. Dave Bautista is fantastic, honestly.
Jonathan Groff is very good too.
Yeah. So
yes.
I get it. The more that after Brad and I had that conversation, the more I thought about it. I enjoy the debate back and forth of like what would really happen. If how would somebody try to convince me, and what would I need to see? I think that one of the things that I saw in the movie that they went with, everything's done on TV, right? They show you what's happening around the world until the very end. Spoiler alert. Things start happening I think that it would have been a bolder choice to have things happen around the actual cabin itself. And so then the characters in the cabin could be like, well, a little earlier could have been like, is this real? Is this not real? They even say, well, they recorded this and are showing it to us, Well,
that's the idea, though. Is for the first half, is to like keep you thinking like, oh yeah, they have to be lying.
But I still think that there's a way that to do the things and have them happen like in the actual area of the cabin and still have that debate of but that's just a coincidence.
But then it doesn't feel as big though. Like it has to feel big.
They can show it on TV as well, but like it's happening worldwide.
Because I think M. Night wants all of us to do the same thing that that Jonathan Groff is doing as well. Going, I don't know about this.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
What I like about M. Night again, that even not his greatest films do, is they're conversational pieces. So I watched this with my daughter who had read the book and my son, and afterwards we were talking about it like for a half hour afterwards, right? And so because it presented an ethical dilemma, right? about
And
would
don't
you
get me
do
wrong,
it? Or
he does as a filmmaker, does a great job of that always.
and so I enjoyed the film for that part of it
Sure.
because it did elicit conversation. It elicited this idea of what would you have done, right?
I will agree. I will agree. with that.
So I actually like this. It's not obviously a huge cast. It had that type of film has to be difficult. Small cast set in essentially one cabin, right? And all you're relying on is actors to act their ass off,
And
right?
they do.
And they do.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. I did not hate it, but I just wish there was more to it.
Sure.
Were you angry because your favorite character died?
Dave Bautista?
No, Ron Weasley.
Ron Weasley. I love Ron Weasley.
I
Yeah.
forgot he played Ron Weasley.
Yeah, Rupert Grint.
Yeah, he played a weird
Yeah.
guy.
It's because he was racist.
Yeah, he was pretty racist. Ron Weasley?
Yeah.
Pretty racist.
Real racist.
Didn't hate it. Didn't hate the movie whatsoever, but could have been better. What's your favorite M. Night Shyamalan when you get rid of Sixth Sense and Unbreakable as being the main two that put him on the map?
Signs.
Really?
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, Signs is a very good film, so it's hard not to pick that. But again, I am a defender of The Village. I like The Village.
I like The Visit.
I like The Visit.
The Visit is good.
The Visit's good.
I actually defend Lady in the Water too. I like Lady. In the
So
Water.
I do defend that a little bit as well.
I don't think it's a great film. But I actually
It's
enjoyed
not.
it.
It's so bad.
Nope, I don't think it's bad.
I was very excited for it.
I think that's why you put him up on a pedestal. It was his third movie after it. You can't have that.
This is his fourth movie.
What was the third one? The Village?
No, actually, this is his fifth movie.
It's
Science.
first film is
Sixth Sense.
Praying with Anger in
No,
1992.
No, not really.
no.
Second film was 1998's Wide Awake.
What? No.
What he directed and wrote the film.
Are they shorts?
No, it's
Are you sure?
No, it is a real film.
Are you sure that's not a
released
short
by
film?
Miramax. No, it stars Dennis Leary, Dana Delaney, Joseph Cross, and Rosie O'Donnell, called Wide Awake.
I don't believe it.
Oh. Number one, or then 1999, The Sixth Sense, then Unbreakable, then Signs, then The Village, then Lady in the Water, then The Happening. I don't know if I saw The Happening.
Oh, with Mark Wahlberg?
Oh,
yeah.
man.
You gotta see
Ooh,
The Happening.
you're in for a
Guess
treat.
what, Nate?
And I definitely didn't see The Last Airbender or After Earth.
You know, there's a quote that Mark.
That's based on your reaction to The Happening. The Happening, The Last Airbender, and After Earth are three pretty crappy films.
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh,
The Happening is a choice piece of shit. So Mark Wahlberg was asked later on, what went wrong, and do you feel like you were miscast or whatever? And Mark Wahlberg, to me, famously said, "I mean, what? Do you blame me? It was the first time I got offered a role that wasn't a cop or a crook. I had to take it." It was like, yeah, he played a science teacher.
Is he the worst part about? I mean, like, is
No,
he's not even the worst part about it.
I mean, he's awful in it, but like
he's not even the worst part.
Yeah, like the movie is just
would a better
terrible.
actor have saved the film?
No,
No,
Okay,
it's
it was just
it's
bad.
poorly conceived.
You know what would have saved the film? Is adding film grain, making it black and white, and giving it like the cheesiest
Okay.
voiceover, like turning it into a genuine B movie, because that's what it feels
Yeah,
like.
it's pretty bad.
It's odd. Then he came back with The Visit, which was more highly rated.
The Visit it was a true return to form, and that's why I like it.
Split was really good.
I don't want to say The Visit was a return to form, because for me, I like The Visit, but The Visit is very much a straightforward horror movie with a unique angle to it. It takes something that is real, but gives it a horror spin. But it's nowhere near the quality of Sixth Sense or Unbreakable or Signs or anything.
What
like
about
that.
Split?
It's,
Did you
but
like
no,
Split?
it's really, really, really.
I like
I
Split.
like Split
I like
quite a
Split.
bit.
I like Split. Split's fun.
Split's great.
Yeah.
Glass.
Glass was disappointing.
Old.
I liked Old.
Old is weird.
Old is weird.
Old is weird, but
No, you're right. It's not
at
bad.
50% on
weird.
Rotten Tomatoes.
It's interesting at least.
It's 50% because you either love it or hate it, and I didn't
And then Knock
love
at
it,
the
but I
Cabin,
liked it.
which again I would say Knock at the Cabin is probably his best since.
The Visit.
I don't know. I think I like it better than The Visit, but
What?
I like
Oh.
Knock at the Cabin quite a bit.
All right, maybe I'll have to watch it again.
I would rewatch Knock at the Cabin. I thought it was good.
All right, you know what? I'll let it sit for a couple months, and I'll watch it again. I'll let you know.
I
what
think
I think
it's intriguing.
I do think
The Visit is, like I said, just a straightforward
Visit's
horror
great,
movie. But it's
but
a straightforward horror
great.
movie. Straightforward horror movie.
So what? It's really great.
Straightforward horror movie. It is pretty good.
Go watch the freaking Evil Dead movie again if you like. it
You haven't
so
even seen it, and Evil Dead Rise is great.
much. Fine, whatever.
You're not gonna like it because you don't like goop.
Goop.
Yeah, you don't like
gore.
You don't like goopy horror movies.
You know what? You're right. I don't like goopy. I don't know what a goopy horror movie is besides the Greasy Strangler.
That's pretty goopy.
Yeah.
The Blob.
A guy walked into the arcade the other day, and he looked a little bit like the actor that plays the Greasy Strangler, and it kind of freaked me out a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Nice.
He had kind of like sunken eyes, and he was older, and he had long, wispy white hair.
Good.
I was like, oh, this is so aggressive. I don't like this.
Wonderful.
Did you see anything else?
I saw the last part of John Wick 3.
What?
So I watched the.
You didn't watch the first part?
I finished. Well, I started it.
So at some point you watched the whole
weeks
thing.
ago with Oscar Bernacki, a friend of the family.
It took you weeks to finish it,
He comes over and we watch him here. So like,
and he hadn't come over for a week.
yeah, we just hadn't. I don't hang out with him every day, Brad.
Yeah, but how do you start a movie like that? Be like, oh, I'll finish this in a few weeks.
Because we watched the second one, started the third one, and
I
had to
know,
take a
but
pause.
I don't know how you do that.
yeah, just to drive me fucking nuts.
I mean, it's not like it was the first time I was seeing John Wick 3. It's like the 15th time I've seen.
I
John
know,
Wick
but
movie.
he had
still.
seen it too.
no,
he had not seen it.
Yeah, see, that's the thing.
He was,
I don't
he was waiting
get
for
it.
me to. Anyway, what? It doesn't matter. And then I was assigned Win-Win by Mr. Bradford Oman.
That's me.
And I really like this movie.
Isn't it so good?
It's just charming.
Yeah.
It was not exactly what I was expecting. I read the plot, like the synopsis, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be dark. Because it sounds,
It's a little dark.
but no, I mean, like it sounds like depressingly dark.
Yeah.
And the way that the film is shot, it's more like there's more heart.
Yeah.
Into it. The movie is Paul Giamatti plays a struggling lawyer, an elder care attorney, and the guy that played Paulie in the Rocky movies is in this film, and he's got dementia, and the judge in this case says that he's going to send him to it's $1,500 a month that he'll get in care money, and so he, as the attorney, convinces the judge to let him take him in, but instead of that, he puts him in a home, basically, and it's not a home, but he puts him, in a place where he can get taken care of, but then still keeps the money.
Yeah,
and he didn't think it was that big of a deal, and but it is. And the kids, the guy's grandson comes looking for him, and they decide, oh, your mom's a piece of shit. You can live with us. And the Paul Giamatti's character is also the wrestling coach at the high school, and they're terrible. And this grandson has a knack for wrestling. And so now the team's turning around, and the kids on the team are hilarious. There's this one, I can't remember the kid's name, the character's name, but Paul Giamatti gives him like this impassioned speech about not getting pinned, and he's like, "You're not going to get pinned," and of course, he gets pinned like almost immediately. And I don't know, just their dynamic. Jeffrey Tambor plays the assistant coach on the team, and he's great.
Bobby Cannavale.
Bobby Cannavale is. This is so well acted. There are so many great people in this film, and it does. It's a movie. That has a lot of heart, and I can see why it was really well received as an independent film.
Yeah, this played at Sundance, which is where I saw it, and I really enjoyed it then, and I've seen it a few times.
It was a quick watch too. It kind of flew by.
It's breezy, yeah.
And you can watch it on Max, by the way.
Max. Yeah, it's just it's very charming. All the characters are great.
Paul Giamatti is so good.
He really is.
This.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bummer he's been doing billions for 400 years now or something.
I know. I mean, maybe he'll get back into it though, right?
I don't know. We'll see. He was supposed to have a big part for Amazing Spider-Man, but we all saw that turned out.
Yeah. Maybe it'll get better, Brad.
I don't know. Maybe they'll bring him back in the multiverse as Rhino.
I'd like that.
I mean, I'd like to see a sequel to Fred Claus. So, I mean, if we're putting out our requests.
That's a good point. I think they were supposed to do one at one point.
Fred Claus 2, the Escape Clause?
No, dummy.
No, they can't do that?
They already did that.
That would be the multiverse of the Claus movies.
Oh, now we're talking, actually. I'd be down if they did a fucking Spider-Man No Way Home with all the Santa Claus actors.
Like Violent Night.
Yeah.
You got David Harbour in there.
Ed Asner. Fucking Goldberg.
You got Hulk Hogan, Santa with muscles.
Yeah, see, now we're talking. Who else played Santa Claus? Fucking bring it in.
Yeah, no, you'd have
Hold on, let's see here. Actors who played Santa Claus. Actors who played.
probably James Gandolfini at some point.
Oh, Billy Bob Thornton.
Bad Santa. There you go.
Let's see, we got Kurt Russell. Yeah, now we're talking.
Yep. The Christmas Chronicles.
Fucking Tom Hanks as the motion capture dead-eyed Santa Claus.
Yeah, I'm in.
Oh, Richard Attenborough as the Miracle on 34th Street remake.
Yep.
Yeah, he could get his cane and just fucking whip some ass.
Spare no expense.
Yeah.
I think you forgot Tim Allen.
Well, of course.
Well, we already talked. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to leave out Tim Allen. He's Santa Claus. Come on. Oh, who else? Let's see. Oh, Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck with Santa?
He played Santa Claus in Reindeer Games, right?
What?
Didn't he dress up as Santa Claus?
Okay, I mean, dressing up as him, but I don't think he played the character of Santa Claus.
Well, technically, neither did real Santa Claus.
Was that on that list that you're reading on your phone?
It came up in Google. So.
I mean, we could technically also include Mel Gibson, who played Santa Claus and Fat Man.
That's true.
We could, or if we were bad people, let's just not include him.
You know who else played Santa Claus? Steve Gutenberg.
In what?
Single Santa Seeks Mrs. Claus.
Is that like a Hallmark movie or a Lifetime? movie?
I've never seen it, but I'm gonna guess there's a good chance.
You talking about SSSMC?
SSSMC? Seeks SWF?
Single white female.
Kevin James.
Mickey Rooney voiced Santa Claus and Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Biggest star in the world.
Oh, yeah. See, Hollywood Reporter lists Ben Affleck in Reindeer Games as well because he dresses up as Santa Claus.
Oh, my gosh.
So we can do it. John Goodman in The Year Without a Santa Claus.
This is shaping up to be quite the crossover.
This would be an Avengers Endgame Santa Claus movie.
Yeah.
Think about how cool that would be.
Like, think about how jolly it would be.
Would you guys put George Wendt in there?
I mean, can we?
Where did he play Santa Claus?
He played Santa Claus twice. Santa Baby and Santa Buddies.
Oh, then absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely. Yeah, Santa
Twice?
Buddies? Don't even get me started. Bill Nighy voiced Santa Claus in Arthur Christmas.
Yeah. Jonathan Winters, Santa vs. the Snowman.
Apparently, William Shatner voiced Santa Claus in something called Gotta Catch Santa Claus.
Classic. Yeah, that was
The 2008 TV movie follows the story of a young boy who wants to prove that Santa Claus exists by capturing him. Meanwhile, an old enemy of Santa, Le Freeze, awakens with the same idea. Yeah, that makes sense. Lloyd Bridges played Santa Claus in The Nick of Time.
Nick of Time, the Johnny Depp movie?
No,
hey
you
guys,
idiot.
I'm going to throw in a little bit of a curveball here. Anna Kendrick.
She didn't really play Santa Claus.
She becomes Santa Claus in Noel.
Spoiler alert.
A movie that came out years ago?
I mean,
that I've never heard of?
It's on Disney Plus. It was one of their first movies.
Oh, gotcha.
It's got Bill Hader in it.
She becomes Santa Claus?
Yes.
With a beard and everything?
What? You don't have to have a beard to be Santa Claus.
If Anna Kendrick...
100 years of Christmas history would beg to differ.
I'm guessing you're also saying a Santa Claus has to be white. All right?
No, I never said that because there is plenty of precedent for a different race Santa Claus.
I need to let you guys know right now that if Anna Kendrick turned into Santa Claus in a movie, including the beard, I would still have sex with her.
Oh, yeah.
She is just perfect. She's amazing.
Okay, reel it in, buddy.
Let me just
put your North Pole away.
Let me just talk.
Jesus Christ!
I didn't know we were going here.
Yeah.
You know what? My apologies for bringing up Anna Kendrick. I will take that one back.
She is just pitch perfect.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know where Ben's going with this, and I'd prefer to end it.
Yeah, Santa Ben's got his hand around his toy sack.
Ooh, Santa baby.
Ugh.
All right. Anything else?
Ben's on the naughty list. That's all I gotta say.
I think she's adorable.
Yeah, I do too. But I'm not talking about fucking her as Santa Claus.
I was joking around.
Sure, buddy.
Come on, it's a joke.
Oh my god. Hey, I'm not gonna fuck Santa Claus.
Hey.
What am I gonna do? Ruin Christmas? He already comes just once a year, huh?
Ugh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you. Ugh. Gross over here.
She can come down my chimney.
Oh my god. What? That's you.
I hope this gets
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Ugh.
Santa Claus comes down the chimney.
Yeah, but if she does it to you.
Yeah, I don't know what it means, Brad, but I'm in. Cut it all.
Nate, will you give us a trailer song? Or not?
Well, I gotta think. I mean, you
We just talked about Santa Claus.
Trailer baby.
Yeah. It's beginning to look a lot like
trailer times. Trailers everywhere we go. Before the movie starts, they play movie trailers, and you see clips from new movies.
That's gonna go on our Christmas album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we want to announce our Christmas album coming in November.
We're working on it now.
Yeah, it's gonna be like you think that you know the Christmas hits, but buddy, you haven't heard.
You haven't heard the worst versions of all of them.
Yeah, you haven't heard Ben's Christmas gift (parentheses Anna Kendrick).
Brad singing Jingle Balls for some reason.
Oh yeah, I'll sing it right now. Jingle balls, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to grab my balls all fucking day.
Whoa!
Hey.
Whoa! You had that one in the pocket.
That got yeah, you had that on lock. I'm not sure that I need to know why.
Oh yeah, I got my balls on lock, buddy.
Okay, easy.
Yeah, let me tell you.
You just cut all this.
Nope.
Staying in.
We got to promote our Christmas album starting now. Christmas in June.
That's not even a thing.
It is. Well, it's technically Christmas in July.
Yeah, exactly.
But just like before Christmas, we want to get a jump start, right?
So this is the trailer for
this
Christmas
is like
in
the
July.
this is like the Thanksgiving of Christmas. In July.
Everyone has stopped
Don't
listening.
tempt me. If we want to watch Christmas movies in July this year, I am in.
All right.
Everyone has stopped listening.
Have they though?
They have. I can guarantee you we've lost
What
every
about
listener.
Marty Scorsese's next film?
Yeah, Blood Flowers of the Open Moon.
The Escape Clause. Killers of the Flower Moon. This
Yes.
is based on a true story. It is a crime thriller. But of course, because this is a Martin Scorsese movie, there's going to be so much more to it. There's a story here at the core about a Native American woman. And there's a lot of true to life things, not just because it's a true story, but because it's a deeper story that also is about the plight of Native American people and also their oppression and whatnot. This recently premiered at the Cannes Film Festival, where, and this doesn't really matter, but like it got a big standing ovation. But like they do stupid standing ovations at Cannes, like where they just like fucking,
for like 5 minutes.
yeah, no,
it's
longer.
It got
It's like 10
17 minutes.
Yeah, and it's like, first of all, who's clapping for that long? Who's timing
I don't
these
believe-
things?
I
Like,
don't believe
I would have sat.
I
I
don't
would have
believe it.
sat. Even if I loved the film, I'm giving you a 2-minute standing ovation and then
Yeah,
I'm done.
it's just-
because I'm not a fool.
I just don't believe that.
It's just
17 minutes? No.
It's France, and a lot of it's just because like the cast and directors are there, so they're like clapping at them, and like as they
And
go
then
up on
Martin
stage,
Scorsese
and
comes
like
up, and then
at some point it's just gotta
Leonardo
stop.
DiCaprio.
Just fucking stop, guys. But the reviews for this movie are great.
Quit telling people they're good at their jobs. Ugh.
Keep in mind, you guys are gonna love this. This is gonna be a real treat for you guys.
It's 4 hours and 77 minutes long.
No, it is. It is almost. It's 206 minutes.
It is 3 hours and 26 minutes long.
Oh,
Will not see
why?
this. I
No,
will
pass.
not see this.
It's Apple TV Plus. It's gonna
Will
be out
not-
on Apple TV.
Sorry, will not see this.
It's
Ah.
guess what? It will be assigned to both of you,
And we
you
will not watch
you
it.
will watch it. If you
No,
don't,
because you're gonna have to like assign it to me for 2 weeks.
if you
because-
don't, first of all, you watch more TV in a single week than the length of this movie.
hey Marty, make a mini series. All
Hey,
right?
No, you know why?
Make
Because it's a different form of
mini-series.
storytelling, and you don't have to split it up.
This is dumb. This is
No,
dumb.
it's not dumb.
You can't tell your story in
200
You
2
don't.
hours.
Oh my God!
Marty,
don't
Marty-
you fucking say the stupidest
Please,
fucking
if you
thing
can't-
anyone has ever
if you
said.
can't
Marty,
tell
meet
your
an
story in
editor.
2 hours.
Meet an editor, Marty.
Yeah. Get it done.
Some stupid woman said that
Whoa!
on Twitter.
Whoa!
No, she was awful.
Just because she's a woman
Hey,
does not make her stupid,
you
Brad.
said that. She got blasted on Twitter for saying this because then somebody
She's saying the thing that all of us
she
are
said
thinking.
she's like, no good filmmaker has to have their movie be more than 2 hours. Like I can name 10 other movie directors who don't need that much time. And so someone said, okay, who are some of your favorite directors? She lists 10 directors. 8 out of 10 of them have all made movies longer than 3
course they
hours.
have.
And it's like, you
So wait, three hours?
Yes.
longer than 3 hours. Which ones?
What like Akira Kurosawa and I forget who else she lists, but she listed people. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? These are the
I'm sorry,
directors you
but-
chose.
I think a film can and should be over 2 hours. That's fine. Over 3 hours, come on.
No, it's first
Come
of all, all 3 Lord of the Rings movies are longer than 3 hours.
Yeah,
And you
but
love
it's
those.
in Middle Earth. Is this film in Middle Earth?
No, it's in Middle America,
So yes, I guess.
technically.
Hey, Brett, why is the budget of this film $200 million?
Probably Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's what I was wondering. Is it? Is it? No, is
not.
it?
Look
no.
at- look
to
at
get
the
Leo
set.
and Robert De Niro.
No,
No, look at the set.
No,
It's-
no, I
they
mean-
recreated
I mean,
old
but-
times.
I mean, honestly though,
No, no. I mean, it's
$200 million is a
yeah.
First
they
of all-
built a fucking railroad.
yeah. I mean, it's long. It's has.
Will they make $200 million back off of this?
I'm sure they're not anticipating it, but that's not Apple's hope. Apple's hope is to win as many Oscars as possible.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
They're buying Oscars.
Yeah, I mean they're not buying Oscars, but they're giving Martin Scorsese the money that no other studio would to make a movie like this because they want the prestige. They want people to see. Yeah, these are the kind of movies.
If you tune into Apple, you will see good content.
Exactly.
Right.
It is going to go to the theaters first, but this was a hard film to get financed.
Yeah,
actually.
of course.
He's been working on
Leonardo
this-
DiCaprio had to actually get involved as well. He's the one that
they've
made
been
it.
trying to make the movie for like over a decade.
Yeah.
So I mean, DiCaprio's net worth is probably 500 million. De Niro's is 500 million. Oh, sorry, DiCaprio's is probably 250 million. Scorsese's probably 200 million. I know for a fact.
I'm
De
willing to
Niro,
bet DiCaprio is a lot more because you forget that DiCaprio owns his own production company.
No.
And they produce a lot of movies.
They all got a lot of money.
Bailey and I play this game on Alexa sometimes.
The Thing.
No, where we'll go like, hey Alexa,
How much? Yeah.
what's Tom Hanks's net worth, and we'll guess, and then we'll ask.
So you're the reason why so many people are like, so many SEO prompts are like, what is so and so's net worth? It's because
It's
everyone.
so fun. It
Is
really
it?
is. It is fun. I want to know, especially because it's the game. It's the game isn't necessarily how much money like Leonardo DiCaprio makes, but it's compared to other people and why. We have that debate. Like,
Sure.
so why is so Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, right? Two very revered old men.
Yeah.
De Niro is worth like $600 million, and Pacino's worth like 80.
Yeah.
And I get it. Is the production companies he's involved in film festivals and he produces and things like
De
that.
Niro made Dirty Grandpa.
That was so profitable.
Yeah.
But they are all very wealthy men. So if they really want to make I always wondered about that. If you really do have a passion project that you want to make,
Yeah.
couldn't De Niro and Scorsese and DiCaprio just get together and be like, I mean, we'll put up $100 million of our own money just because we want to make this film, and we know we don't need the money.
Well, I think.
I mean, some of them do are. They're producers of the film.
Yeah, exactly.
so-
But at the same time, though, you're a business guy. You know that they don't actually just have like $100 million cash lying around. Like they have it in like investments, or they have it in like businesses, or like real estate and that kind of thing. So like they can't just like throw the cash down to pay for that movie.
Without getting too far into it, I can guarantee you that Robert De Niro has $250 to $300 million in real estate holdings and things like that. That
Sure, but it's not just
that
about.
you can borrow against.
But it's
Yeah.
but it's not just about making the movie. It's about paying the money to make the movie and then making sure you get your return on investment back.
Well, that's the thing. I think that you would look at it as like, I'm going to do this knowing that I'm not getting a penny back, but I just
Yeah.
want to make this movie with my friends, and we have enough to do so.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
taking a loan out against your assets for that and then having it be a wash and you have to sell some assets, when you have $500 million, if you put up 20,
I will
who
say,
gives a shit?
Martin Scorsese is a producer of this film, so he probably did put up money for this film. But also, I think a lot of times in these production deals as well is the streaming rights. It all
Right.
oftentimes comes together, right?
And so to
they're
defend
trying
you,
to find-
Brad, to defend you a little bit, I will say, yeah, I want to make this movie, right? But also, if it is a hit, I'm not saying I don't want any money back, and Apple's going to get all the proceeds. There needs to be a structured deal here.
$200 million. I mean, that's like Marvel type of.
Well, and that's not
budget,
even
right?
that's just to make the goddamn thing. You're not even talking about promoting.
There's no money now.
There's no promoting.
There's no
in
money
that.
for promotion.
I mean, there is though. There'll be another $100 million if they're really trying to push for an Oscar and all this other stuff. You got 50 to 100 million in that. It's 300 out the door. That's crazy.
I have a quiz for you guys. All right.
First of all, let's just say what this movie's about.
Oh yeah, let's go ahead. I thought we did that.
I covered it a little bit, just like in general. But so basically, members of the Osage tribe in the United States are murdered under mysterious circumstances in the 1920s, and it sparks a major FBI investigation that involves J. Edgar Hoover, who Leonardo DiCaprio actually played. Don't think he's going to play him in this movie, though.
Leonardo DiCaprio looks old.
Well, he is getting
Yeah,
old.
but he still looks amazing.
He looks really haggard in this role.
Well, I think he's supposed to look a little more.
I'm
haggard than
joking. He
himself,
does. Yeah.
but I read the story of this, like the Wikipedia of
Yeah.
the like thing that happened, because this is again a historical film.
Spoiler alert.
It's pretty remarkable, honestly, and it's I'm sure gonna awaken a lot of like woke, this and woke that, because it is a story about mistreatment in our judicial system and in our law enforcement against American Indians in the 1920s.
Yeah.
Which is what happened. So it's not woke to just be like,
but- well, no,
this
but
is
that's the thing, though.
This is
Hey.
like not the 1850s.
Yeah,
though.
don't
This is
remind people of history where white people were bad, guys. Like
we
it's-
were always bad though. We were always the
but
bad guy.
you don't have to remind them about
We
it.
should though.
Come on. Like,
I do have some though. Again, I've got a quiz for you guys that I want, because we don't have a time for a game, but I'm going to do this. Okay.
uh-oh.
Martin Scorsese and Robert De Niro have collaborated on several films
Yes.
throughout their careers.
Yes.
What are those films?
Raging Bull,
All right.
Taxi Driver, Goodfellas.
Wait, I thought you said Leonardo DiCaprio.
No, he said Robert De Niro.
Oh, sorry.
Mean Streets.
that three?
Cape Fear, and
The Irishman.
Yeah, The Irishman. That's it.
5.
Yeah.
And I know 6. King of Comedy.
Ah, yes, good call. And New York. And that's
7.
It. I think that's it.
Oh wait, hold on, wait.
I think that's it.
There could be more.
No, I think that's it.
All right, 7.
No, there's one more. What did we miss?
I'm gonna say there's 11.
Killers of the Flower Moon. Yeah,
Hold on.
he is in it. Martin Scorsese.
Did you say the one from 1995?
Cape Fear.
Nope. That's from 1991.
Scorsese, De Niro, 95.
Scorsese, De Niro, 95. Is he in Bringing Out the Dead?
No, that wasn't 2000, or that was in 95. Face Off.
Nope. A film called Casino.
Oh, fuck.
wow.
Idiots. Nice job.
Okay, no, honestly, I don't associate Casino with 95 for some reason. I think of it more like in 1990, 91, like when Goodfellas came
No,
out.
that's fair.
I
No,
always do that in my
90 Goodfellas, 91 Cape Fear, 95.
Casino's a movie that
There's
is
actually one
3 hours
more.
long that I would watch again.
There's actually
And it's
one more.
and actually, Gangs of New York is almost 3 hours long. If Martin Scorsese is making a movie that is long, it's long for a reason. Like, just give him the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
I don't know. He needs
The guy's almost 90. He's not wasting his time.
Listen, I need him to be more like Clint Eastwood. One take, no matter how bad it is, you put it in the final cut.
Oh yeah, and I would love to see Martin Scorsese in front of the camera, just like being a grizzled old man telling people to get off his lawn.
By the way, there's one more. There's a short film called The Audition from 2015.
Yeah, I'm pretty. It's a commercial, I think, for like a casino or something.
That's how they bankrolled this movie, though. They do things like that.
Okay, let's do one more though. Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio have collaborated on several films. What are they?
Gangs of New York, The Departed, The Aviator, Shutter Island, and I think that's it.
And I'll say Blood Killers of Flower Moon. Are we missing any? Oh, wait, just say yes or no. Are we missing? Okay, we are missing Scorsese and DiCaprio. It's got to be later.
Oh, Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh,
Thank
duh,
you.
Jesus.
The Wolf of Wall Street is the other one.
Jesus.
And they have another couple coming up. Killers of the Flower Moon, obviously.
What's the one? What's
Roosevelt,
the serial killer? What's the serial killer one?
They're not doing that anymore.
The White Lotus or whatever?
Yeah, it's
The White Orchid?
White, what is it?
I forget, but they're not.
Devil in the White City?
Yes, that's
They're
it.
doing
Yeah.
Roosevelt, I think is his next one.
So-
We'll see.
We'll see,
A lot of the stuff that like is like things that they might do together is stuff that's been in
he's
the works
attached
for a while.
to.
Yeah.
We'll see. And he's got the rights too. And then another one is called The Wager, A Tale of Shipwreck, Mutiny, and Murder.
Yeah, actually, Keanu Reeves got attached to Devil in the White City more recently, but that's not happening now either.
So yes, are you guys going to see this? See it in the theater? Are you going to see it?
Yeah.
Wait till it comes out.
I will see this as soon as I possibly can. Hopefully, I will.
It is getting great reviews, so I am intrigued for sure.
Yeah, I will. If I can see a press screening, I will. If not, I will go out of my way to go into Chicago
you
to see it in
guys
theaters if I
know-
need to.
I cannot go to a theater for 3 hours and 20 minutes and not pee a dozen.
Well, that's fine. If that's what's going to get you in the theater is letting you pee, then
You
like
just gotta.
I'll get you a adult diaper and we'll just let it flow.
All right.
All right, baby.
I know I talk shit about long movies, but I will see this, and I will see it as soon as possible because this is a movie that
Brad's right. If anybody's earned
exactly
long,
this is a prestige drama that you want to see in the running for Best Picture and have it be rightfully there. And The Irishman, honestly, was shit.
You're wrong. Like the Irishman is so good.
Will you let me finish my own sentence?
No, because it's like it's.
Will
like,
you just let me finish my sentence?
No, because whatever you're gonna say, it like doesn't even matter.
The Irishman was shit compared to Scorsese's other films that are so much better than that. He really.
I mean,
he nailed in so many things about that.
Done a lot of shit movies though. I don't.
No,
know.
honestly.
Like, I mean, honestly, I can't.
No,
think
he
of
hasn't.
No,
I can't think of a film that is
But
a bad Martin Scorsese.
The Irishman
film. I've
was-
got ones
it
that I
just-
enjoy more than others.
Yeah.
The Irishman was basically a Lifetime Achievement Award response from everybody. Like, oh my god, it's one of the best movies I've ever seen.
See, that's not true.
It's not though.
No, but that's the thing is like
There was a lot of buzz.
I honestly feel like you like it's gonna sound like a dickhead thing. I don't think you fully
Go on.
I don't think you fully get it. Because like there is something that Scorsese is saying with The Irishman that is like in direct contrast with like what people think the kind of movies Martin Scorsese makes, and it's kind of like a meditation on movies like Goodfellas and Casino and things like that. So like, sure, it might seem pretty straightforward on the surface, but like there's a lot of depth there, and like if you've been watching Martin Scorsese movies for a while and like really pay attention to them, The Irishman has a lot more to say, not just about mob movies, but about Scorsese's career in general.
There's one of the worst fight action scenes I've ever seen in my entire life in that film, where it's the unbelievability of Robert De Niro beating the shit out of somebody on a street corner. It looks terrible, and it's poorly shot.
I will. First of all, that's not true. I will say that one of the weird things about The Irishman is the fact that since they did de-age De Niro and Pesci and everything, there are times when they are moving more like older men, even though like they're not supposed to be older.
Fucking weird.
That is frustrating, but it does not ruin the movie.
The limits of de-aging technology.
Yeah, of course. Exactly.
But it did take me out of some of those scenes.
That's fair. I think that's fair.
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
He also just like sucked though.
Scorsese, yeah, no, in that movie, sure.
I suck Scorsese.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on, theater camp. Oh, by the way, I don't know if I said this before. Killers of the Flower Moon has a wide release on October 20th, and then to the theaters, and then it has not announced the release on Apple TV Plus.
Yeah, it'll probably be like a month later.
It'll come out after that. Yep, on Apple TV Plus.
I wouldn't be surprised if they release it like just before Thanksgiving on Apple TV Plus or something.
All right, theater camp, a film that I think you've already seen, Brad. Right?
I have.
That releases to theaters on July 14th, 2023. Now, I am excited about this film very much. So I was a theater kid. My son, Finn, who I've talked about a lot on this podcast, is a theater kid going to theater camp this year. And this was a film directed and written by Molly Gordon and Nick Lieberman, who is the son of Mary Lou Henner. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, screenplay.
I mean, you would. These are actors who you probably recognize from some comedies, but you wouldn't necessarily know by name.
Molly Gordon, I think, is getting more recognizable.
Yeah,
right?
Molly Gordon was in Good Boys. She was one of the teenage girls who's like trying to chase them down because they accidentally got a hold of their
friend
drugs.
of the sister, maybe. Or,
yeah, and then Noah Galvin is also, or sorry, was it?
So it's Ben Platt and Noah Galvin is
Nick Lieberman.
Yeah, Nick Lieberman is the other writer.
Yeah, exactly.
Director. Sorry, Molly Gordon and Nick Lieberman directed it,
and they also wrote it.
Molly Gordon, Nick Lieberman, Ben Platt, and Noah Galvin. Wrote it. Ben Platt and Noah Galvin are fiance. They're engaged.
I think they're married already.
Did they get married now?
I don't know. Or maybe they just got engaged.
Soon,
yeah.
If not, it's really funny because a lot of these guys, or these four, have been friends for a long time, right? Ben Platt and Molly Gordon met each other at 3 years old doing theater. They went to high school. Ben Platt and Nick Lieberman went to high school at like Harvard, Sherman Oaks, or some really wealthy high school. If you watch this trailer, it just looks so funny to me.
Yeah.
One of the things I love about the theater world that I love for my son being in it, it's a very inclusive and odd community.
Mm-hmm.
And they have very, very odd ticks to it and personalities to it that are very funny, but normal for the people that are in it.
Yeah.
Right? If anybody looks within and says, what the heck is this? It looks odd, but for theater people, it is just normal. And I love that these people, these four, who are theater nerds themselves, who've done a ton of theater work, understand that.
Yeah.
And they I feel like they've grabbed a hold and they found an accessible comedy to not just make fun of, because I think it's also, knowing these guys, how much they love the theater world, it's also going to be an homage. It's going to be a love story a little bit for the theater camp world as well. But it's also going to, I think, be a widely accessible comedy. And so I'm very excited about this film. What do you guys think? Ben?
Oh, me?
Well, Brad's already seen it, so.
That's fair. No. I'm glad
Is this a trailer that you would see the film?
Well, I'm glad I watched this trailer with Bailey, because she comes definitely more from that world than me.
She loves musicals.
She loves musicals. She was in a bunch of them in college, even at St. Joe. She won some awards. I mean, she's really talented in that way. She misses it, you know. She's
I'll get her on the local theater stage.
She is a tremendously talented singer. She's got great range. So sitting next to my girlfriend, who is very talented and comes from this world, and kind of just side eye watching her reaction to even though it's the first time I'm watching the trailer, because like on its surface level, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. These are weird kids, and I'm not going to understand any of this because this is not my world whatsoever. So looking from the outside looking in, I'm going, yeah, this is something where I look at it going, I'm not going to get 19% of the jokes that are very inside baseball, but it's broad enough that I'm going to enjoy the overarch. Bailey's going to get every single nuance. So for people like your son and for Bailey and Brad, people that are more inclined to artistically, they're gonna fucking love this. But I think general audiences are really gonna see the appeal here too.
It also feels almost like a Wes Anderson type of film.
It does
too. It's got that kind of personality to it. It's not just a straight shot film.
We watched Moonrise Kingdom a couple of months back, and it felt a little like that with the camp scenes. You know, I do like how forthcoming the adults are to the kid. This will break you. This will destroy you.
And it is very true.
It's
by the
so
way.
funny. It's so funny.
I love how Jimmy Tatro's character gets up there and from what I understand, he's an outsider that his maybe parents ran the camp or something.
Yeah,
right?
he's basically this like crypto douche bro kind of guy, and he has like inherited the camp because his mom has fallen ill, and so he's trying to maintain it and just knows nothing about this world whatsoever. And he's hilarious.
I appreciate Jimmy Tatro so much. I think he's an underappreciated comedic talent because he's done some really funny stuff. But Brad, you've seen the film. Is it funny?
This movie is so funny. I love this movie. It was one of my favorites that I saw during Sundance. It's mockumentary style. It feels a lot like a Christopher Guest movie, like Best in Show or This Is Spinal Tap. It's a little bit more candid, fly on the wall. Like it's not like a Talking Heads kind of thing. But it's very funny. It has a very light improvisational feel to it. Aside from the adults in the cast like Molly Gordon and Noah Galvin, Ben Platt and whatnot, it's the kids in this movie who are just so funny, from like teenagers to like even just like the young kids. Like they look and act like theater kids, because I'm sure they are all theater kids.
I was gonna say, easiest casting decision ever. Like you get a bunch of theater kids that want to be famous Hollywood actors.
But they're like their comedic timing and like stuff is like, it is hilarious. Like some of these kids were just like cracking me up, the way that they say their lines, and just like even the physicality of their performances, because like you get to watch them doing rehearsals for like what they're working on, and the way that they're so dramatic and just over the top.
The thing that I think of when I think of theater kids, because I don't really, again, not from that world, is like they're very much adults in little people's bodies.
Absolutely.
Right? Like they very much are very worldly and kind of like old souls.
Yep.
And they get it.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't come out of a 7-year-old's mouth to be like, well, he just misses Mark, and it shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
And that's why it's funny. It's that kind of where
it's not.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't get a lot of direction at that age, and these kids are used to now taking direction. Right?
Sure.
Do that again, but do it this way. And
Right.
so, like you said, I think it doesn't necessarily mature them, but it makes them seem more adult-like because they're so used to the
process.
The process. Yep.
That's fair. And honestly, I'm looking forward to watching this movie to kind of gain some insight onto what that looks like, because again, not my world, but it's so fun to kind of dabble in that.
Yeah, it looks great. If I remember right, because I watched a couple of interviews with the cast, it has a really great cast. It looks like anyway, and I think so. They shot this film in like 18 days. It was not a long shoot or anything. They didn't have a ton of money. I mean, though, let's be honest, Molly Gordon and Ben Platt are very well connected. Their parents are both, I think, producers in the film world. But I think this was like Noah Is it Galvin?
Mm-hmm.
He went to a theater camp in New York as a kid. And I think these are kids from the theater camp he went to in New York. And so, because again,
he's modeling them after.
They didn't have a ton of time to film. They didn't have a ton of time to cast. So you're
talking about like these are actual theater kids?
These kids.
Okay.
These kids are theater kids from the camp that he went to.
And you might recognize some of the younger kids anyway. Like one of the older teens was recently on the Disney Plus's Mighty Ducks TV series. So and he's really funny in it too.
Yeah, so I'm sure the more major characters they're going to cast as, but I think a lot of the background
is Anna Kendrick in it?
She's not.
Pass.
She does have a movie where she is in a theater camp.
Was a theater kid.
Yeah, and apparently it's very funny. So
what's it called?
I think it's just called Camp.
Yeah.
Okay, I was guessing.
No, I think it really is just called Camp.
Guys.
Starring Anna Camp.
No, she's not in it, actually. She's in Pitch Perfect, though.
And a Camp trick?
No. No.
Was it campy?
No.
Is it in a campground?
I mean, yes. It has to be.
I mean, no, a campground is like where RVs and tents go.
That's not always true. A campground is just
No,
where a camp is.
No. You wouldn't go to like a camp with lodging and cabins and call it this is a campground. That's not what that is.
Are people camping there? Because it's a ground where people are camping.
No,
so
that's not how that works.
This guy doesn't fucking get it.
Sorry.
We watched the third trailer.
We
didn't
did.
Hey, when does Theater Camp come out again, buddy?
Theater Camp gets released into theaters on July 14th. And again, go see this in the theaters because these are the films that I want to see more in theaters.
Yeah, exactly.
We want more of this.
Because, we get a lot of Marvel films. And I want to see more of these comedies and just,
Nate, but what if this movie was 3 hours and 20 minutes, though?
I would actually see that because this looks really funny.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
So
I like to laugh for 3 hours.
So basically, you are a fucking liar.
Killers of the Flower Moon, I know is going to be depressing. And I can't
but there's going to be a lot of laughs, I think.
I can't be depressed. I can't be more depressed
but there's
for
like
3
a lot
hours.
of laughs.
Yeah.
Did you see the train come through and the smoke, from the train, the steam comes out and this lady goes, woo-wee!
Yeah, and I'll bet there's a part 2 where like Leonardo DiCaprio just like fucking loses his gourd and just like goes off. Like that's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, I just don't want to see American Indians get mistreated and killed for 3 hours and 20 minutes.
Well,
you live in Indiana, so
very select. Wow. You're very selective on the movies you will see that are 3 hours long. That's all it is. You're you're a hypocrite.
I would say 3 hours is still too long for theater camp, but I would much rather see a comedy for 3 hours that was funny, that kept me going.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily know any comedies that would be able to last for 3 hours.
I wonder what is the
because Judd Apatow can't even do it.
Yeah, I don't either, but
yeah, he's tried.
He has tried very hard.
Funny People was long, guys.
It was.
All right, finally, The Creator.
Yes.
You can cut the spread. Would you go like when we do stand-up comedy shows and you and I have produced them? We've been part of longer shows. There is a real thing where the audience gets laughed out, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you are absolutely looking for an hour and a half. So hour 45 is perfect. 2 hours you can do if it's really
the
funny.
Right people, right?
But anything more than 2 hours with a stand-up comedy show or a movie that's comedy, good fucking luck. And it has nothing to do with how funny you are. You could tell the funniest joke in the world 2 hours and 72 minutes or 68 minutes in.
No, almost.
2 hours and 50. Yeah, 2 hours and 58 minutes in. And of course, it's going to fall flat.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, like we went to Oddball Comedy Fest, and like at the end of it, you're just exhausted.
And that was like 3 hours.
Yeah.
And even we went to Limestone 10 years ago. They're celebrating their 10th year.
And that was several days of comedy.
And honestly, every day I woke up, that first show was still funny.
Yeah.
By the end of every night, though, my cheeks hurt, and it was I had a headache a lot of times. It was exhausting.
Yeah, it is.
So Theater Camp, 4 hours long and comes out July 14th.
No, it's not. It's a breeze.
It's like a 90 movie.
Yeah, it's like it's just around an hour and a half. So yeah, good stuff. Make sure you go see it. But yeah, let's talk about The Creator, new movie from Gareth Edwards, who directed Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, and Godzilla, the 2014 reboot. And he's laid pretty low since then. And this is
about God.
A big new movie. It's coming out. It takes place in a world set in the future where AI has created a war between humans and cyborgs.
So like 6-7 more years from now?
Yeah, probably. ChatGPT is really just going to learn a lot. But yeah, this
and Elon Musk is the one that's like, you know what? Let's turn this on.
Are you guys getting that Neuralink that he's trying to get past the FDA?
Oh, I already got it. That's how I'm so smart right now.
I don't know what you are talking about.
Yeah, Ben got the bad one.
He went with the generic.
He got the Costco version, I think. It came in bulk. He has to like change it every hour.
I got the Kirkland Neuralink.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad that you assigned this because Brad assigns our trailers for you because I saw this movie come up in my YouTube feed because now we watch so many trailers.
Oh yeah,
it is now for.
I also watch fake ones a lot because of that.
It is the thing that comes up in my algorithm all the time is new trailers. I saw this and I thought, I don't need another bad sci-fi movie because there are like it looked like I don't want another bad sci-fi movie. I just don't. But I watched this trailer. I am so freaking excited about this film.
It looks really good.
It looks really good. I like John David Washington a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I like Gemma Chan, Ken Watanabe. It looks really good. Allison Janney is apparently in this as well, which I love. I did not see her in the trailer, but
There was a quick.
It's
blip
an
of her.
original story. Another
Yeah.
that looks fun.
Yeah, I'm always down for an original sci-fi movie, especially if it's high concept like this. It's got cool visual effects. It has interesting world
It looks
building.
beautiful. Yeah, it looks really great.
Yeah, it just looks like it's going to be very cool. It's got a kind of a Terminator, modern Planet of the Apes kind of vibe to it, and so yeah, I'm totally in for this
And
one.
what I loved about it is it was enough to keep me interested for the 2.5 minute trailer. I'm still not quite sure exactly what it's going to do yet.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it was a great concept for a trailer as well.
Really sets the vibe.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, I thought watching John David Washington walk into that room and there's a chair and there's a TV and that song is playing. I thought it was going to be him in the chair. That's kind of how it was set up. Like, the lyrics of the song said that you're looking at yourself or something like that. And as that was crescendoing, I was like, oh, it's going to be him in the chair. And then when it wasn't, I was like, oh, this is different.
Now, it sounds like
Wouldn't it have been funny if it was Marlon Wayans from Little Man?
No.
So it seems to be if
How about Marlon Wayans from White Chicks?
Same difference.
No.
What about Marlon Wayans from Scary Movie?
I'm okay there. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's the Marlon Wayans version I like in a good movie.
there
It's
is a
very
Marlon
funny.
Wayans version that you like.
In Scary Movie, it's tremendous.
Marlon-
Scary Movie's hilarious.
That's true. The first Scary Movie is fantastic.
What about the 8th?
They only made 5.
They should have stopped at 2.
Marlon Wayans was really good in Air.
He was good. Yeah, that bit part.
It took me a while to realize that was Marlon Wayans. By the way, I didn't realize it for some reason.
Yeah.
'Cause he's getting old.
I was going to say, time continues and
When you're-
actors age.
yeah, when you're 50 years old now.
Yeah.
So,
But he still looks good.
He looks great.
oh, he looks great. I just didn't like. It's hard for me because the people that I watched, when I was 18, that were 10 years older than us or 5 years older than us, I still
Like
think
Damon
they're-
Wayans.
Yeah.
Did I get to say Air? Have we talked about that?
Yeah, we talked about Air in the
Okay,
last
sorry.
episode.
I
Yeah.
didn't know. Air's good. Watch it.
Yeah.
Yes, it's true.
Anyway,
So, yep, I'm
Yeah,
looking
I'm in.
forward to
We're
this
all in for
film.
the,
When does it come out,
creator.
Nate?
It comes out September 29th.
it had a bit of Chris Nolan vibe.
Yes.
To it,
Yeah,
right?
it has a little bit of that. So do you think it's obviously AI is ruining everything? They're the bad guys. And John David Washington finds out that, wait a second, I can't kill this kid. Is he really a kid because he's AI? Is that the
There's gonna be-
conversation that's
I mean,
going on?
it looks like it's being set up to be a moral conundrum.
Yeah,
I also hope that there's maybe more of a twist on it. Like
that's what I'm
John
hoping
David
as
Washington,
well.
like we're the bad guys actually, and the AI is the good. I kind
I kind of hope it's more than that, even because I feel like that's even played out anymore.
Sure.
Or
there might be there might be some third nuanced
Yeah, that's what
version
I'm
here that I'm
hoping.
looking for. Yeah,
because again, I think we're going to see more of these going forward.
Oh, yeah.
These ethical kind of movies
Dude,
about AI.
as soon as Chat GPT hit the market, studio heads started being like, okay, here we go. Let's start making. They're the bad guy. Make Terminator 2 the future version only. Let's see that movie. So let's see.
Except now they're gonna have like AI try to write these movies, and they're all gonna suck.
So stand up for the writers. Thanks for listening.
Okay, so
No, it's fucking true. The writer's strike
they're
is
not gonna have AI. That's
No, that is
okay.
part
No,
of
that's
it.
what
That
they're
is
trying
the
to do. That's a big part of what is happening. Is they want to be able to use AI to write ideas, come up with them, and then they'll have actual writers touch them up and turn them into things, or they'll use AI to write things based on stuff that writers have already created, and that's a big part of why
Here-
the writer's strike is happening.
Here's
right
the
now.
sad reality. If you put in every episode of Friends into an AI, like reader essentially, and said, come up with a new episode, and this is what we want we want Joey to do this thing, it would be able to do it
Yeah.
in the same voice of Friends, right?
Yeah,
And
and
it'd
then
probably write a decent episode.
and you'd have to
honestly.
go through with professional writers and punch it up a little bit. But yeah, you'd get it. So what's wrong with that?
Oh my god! Just shut up.
I'm kind of not joking. Like, what's wrong with that?
What do you mean you're kind of not joking? It's well, first of all, there's nothing about AI that is actual creativity. It is echoing and like it's called artificial intelligence for a reason, because it's tricking you into thinking that it's doing something that's actually smart. All it is echoing what actual writers have already done. And so these are people who work hard to create things that are original and nobody else has come up with. All ChatGPT is create stuff in a somewhat different way that echoes what has already been created. It can't exist without something original already existing. So first of all, the writers deserve credit for that for everything. Second of all, it's just a lazy way to do things. Some of the best movies and TV shows ever made came from original ideas and stuff that isn't recycled and stuff like that. And all artificial intelligence can do can recycle things. That's it. It's extremely frustrating. And the reason that it's being a force for creativity, quote unquote, is because studios don't want to pay writers enough. It's all about money. It's all about greed, and that's what it's about. It's not a matter of like trying to make something better, more creative, give you the best version of what it's about trying to save money and not give people their due diligence.
So then what's stopping writers from using AI to do the thing that you just said and then pepping it up themselves and turning it in and being like, instead of taking 6 months to write this crazy screenplay, it took 6 minutes to write it, and then I spent 1 month honing it, and now I can turn in 4 of them, and maybe one of them gets made, instead of I spent 6 months on this, and it's never going to get made. Is there any value there for writers to use artificial intelligence
for efficiency?
To get them as many pitches out as they can. I'm just playing devil's advocate for them.
I mean, sure, maybe, but like at the same time, it's just like the same problem still exists, is that no matter what, it's regurgitating something as an echo, basically, like an imitation. You know, it's doing an impersonation of what you want something to sound like, an approximation.
Every single pitch that I've ever read about is like, oh, well, it's speed. It's Die Hard on a bus.
But that's
but
you know why?
Being very derivative.
But you know do you know why
content.
Though? Because executives, they want to hear things that are successful and they want to know how they can sell it to somebody. That's why that they're called elevator pitches, and they exist not because like that's all writers can think of. It's because you have to give executives the best idea of what their story is in the smallest amount of time, because their attention span is next to nothing, and they're like one and done on to the next immediately. So if you can't keep their attention or give them something that they're going to foam at the mouth about, like, oh my God, I want a movie that's as good as Speed, then like that's why you get those kinds of pitches. It's not because they lack creativity or anything like that. It's because that's what they're forced to do.
So you got people that are currently writing scripts for the next Hollywood blockbuster action movie, and they're coming up with original ideas that are trying to change the game as far as what is available. And so AI is taking Chinatown and Last Action Hero and Die Hard and throwing them in the blender and coming up with some kind of amalgamation of that. And a writer is doing the same thing to try to come up with a new idea, but they're doing it more organically than AI.
Right.
So I guess there is there's something to be said for how are we going to get to the point where we no longer can tell the difference? Like, and when is that? We will, but when is that?
I mean, can an everyday person tell the difference? Like, who knows? Maybe not. But that's also why like the strike is happening, is because there needs to be some kind of delineation of how studios can use AI, how writers can use AI, how much writers get credit for something if they use AI to create a new story and then have other writers touch it up. Like, writers should still get paid to be like, oh, well, you're using just the same way that like you watch a movie and there's a sequel, but the original writers didn't do it. It says based on characters created by such and such, and so like
based on characters created by ChatGPT.
This is what's happening right now is a similar thing that happened when the second longest strike in Hollywood history happened, and this was back towards the end of the 2000s. When there was a long strike over the summer, TV shows got delayed and everything, but it was over digital distribution. There had not been contracts worked out as far as writers being compensated for shows being sold through iTunes and stuff like that, because it was new. So you had this set up where NBC, whoever, could sell episodes of The Office, one of the most popular shows of all time.
$1.99 a piece.
Exactly. And writers got none of that because it hadn't been established as a primary source of income for the studio or anything like that. And so when they struck, it was to be like, okay, well, writers deserve to get a cut of these sales because, it's new media. AI is new media. And like I said, the thing that a lot of people are talking about how like AI, man, it's so amazing, it's going to take over the world. And it's like, you think that because it does this very quickly, but it's a magic trick. Like that's what it is. It's like they're doing a card trick and you have no idea how it's done, and it does it right in front of your face. But it's still a trick. And like there's nothing that is like as world ending about it right now as there is. Like, sure, at some point, But like even some of the most sophisticated like AI, engineers creating stuff like that, they're like we are so far off from like AI being able to like do the kinds of things that you think it can do,
Right.
because it can
Right now,
it can only do what we let it.
It's very good right now as compiling data and delineating what I need.
Yeah.
So I use it for market research a lot of times in my work, and it's very good at taking like, when you Google something and it says, did you mean, because it can't find. It's not this. Did you mean because you misspelled something, but it's coming up with results that are kind of based on the thing you're looking for, but it's not. AI is very good at least being like, oh, you're looking for this very specific thing, and I know enough about how you're looking for this. I'll give you actually what that is.
Yeah.
Because I'll take 9 data sources and create the thing that you need.
Yeah.
That's true. Obviously, the creativity part of this is way different.
Yeah.
Right? Nate, where do you fall on all this? Are they going to be writing your sermons?
I mean, I would be grateful if somebody did. It is hard. I think AI is going to change everything, and it will. How soon? I don't know. It's going to change just like the industrial age changed our employment and who does what, and it's going to change that. I think though about when we talk about writing for TV and stuff like this,
movies.
like you think
joking.
about like a show like Grey's Anatomy that's been on for like 19 years or something, 19 seasons. And they're already recycling plots, right? Because there's nothing you could do after 19 seasons that you haven't talked about before. My daughter's a huge fan of the show. She's like, Dad, there's been 2 ferry crashes already.
Well, to be fair,
ferries get drunk and they can't fly very well when they're drunk, and they crash.
Yeah,
there's a lot of ferry crashes in New York.
But
have you seen The Dark Knight?
I don't even think Grey's Anatomy is in New York.
I know, but I'm just pointing out. It's like
New York is
notorious
lousy with ferry crashes.
So you could easily, again though, it's contingent on already having content, right? You could easily put the 18, 19 seasons of Grey's Anatomy and say, come up with 4 new episodes of this, and they could probably make those episodes and it wouldn't seem different because...
Or it wouldn't see, and I think that here's the catch. You can say, here's all 19 seasons of Grey's Anatomy, come up with 1 new episode based on these 2 characters, based on what you know about the whole history of the show.
Yeah.
And ChatGPT or whatever could do it, and then you would need the showrunners to get in there that have actually done this and fix the small mistakes and this, like, but you would get a quote unquote original enough idea to run with it, because even though it is paint by numbers, they're already painting by numbers.
But that's the thing, is they're not wanting original, right? They want a paint by numbers.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying is, I think where there are CSI and all these
Blue
shows
Bloods.
they're paint by numbers, right? And this is where AI I think is the most dangerous, is because when it becomes
Hallmark
as Brad
writers
said,
are screwed.
As Brad said, AI exists off of what we program it to do.
Yeah.
And obviously it does kind of, in a sense, it learns the wrong way, but it does take in new information. But, I've got a friend that's a graphic designer. I said, how is it going to affect you? And he said, well, what it's going to do for graphic designers like me is it's just going to make me be a programmer instead. So I'm going to have to learn how to program AI to say, I want a graphic that looks like this. He said, but like a normal person isn't going to be able to tell ChatGPT or whatever, I forget what the Photoshop one is, but what you need, because you have to be so specific in your requests that, or it won't look like you want it to look.
Yeah.
Right? So somebody's still going to have to do that, though.
So,
and that's what I'll do. He said, as a graphic designer, I'll learn how to do that.
You can cut all of this, but Canva.com.
Yeah.
Right? Graphic designer for dummies is basically what it is. I have a premium subscription. I use it to produce almost everything that I do. I love it. I'm getting better at it. There's background editors. It's Photoshop for idiots, honestly.
Yeah.
It's getting so good, though, that the other day I went on there and I said, okay, for the arcade, we want to come up with a summer calendar. And I need a social media post that says, this is what we're doing this summer and here are the events. Nowadays, on Canva, there's a new thing where it says, hey, did you want our AI to take your logo and take the nuances of how it's designed and then do it with one of the templates that we already have. So I picked a calendar template, uploaded my photo of our logo, and it took all of the coloration exactly down to the R values, that they have, the numbers of the colors, and it made it exactly like I have a custom-made calendar with my colorization and my font and everything. It doesn't know what font that is because it didn't come from Canva. I uploaded it from Word where I made it. And John Balazon is a good graphic designer. He designed that font. Now that's in there, and Canva took it and ran with it. Now I can type in that font on that calendar with those colors.
But now, so that's
crazy to me.
Yeah, that's crazy. But also that sucks for someone like John because he could have gotten paid to create something based on his art.
But it's amazing for me. It's amazing for me because I can't afford to hire John to take that and spend $100 every time I want him to do any design. I get to do it myself now based on his original design.
See, and that's the thing is you're looking at it from the business point of view of spending money, but like John's art is his business. Artist.
But I paid him for that already.
Sure, but you didn't pay him to design like everything around it or anything like that. And so what you're basically doing is you're stealing like his work and using it in a different way and letting somebody else manipulate it and turn it into something using that. But if you didn't have that, like what he created, you wouldn't have that inspiration. Like really, John should be getting paid by somebody to create the entire library of font based on the logo he created because that's it. But now AI will do it, and you have all these artists who won't get work.
I see both sides of it, honestly, because I want to support John, right? I'm not an asshole. I want to do that, right?
And you did buy the logo,
but
right?
I bought the vector file. I bought the idea from him. It is mine. I own that now.
Sure.
I can do whatever I want with it, and he agreed to that.
Yeah, that's where
Right?
that's where it
That's
gets
the thing.
I
never
think
said
agreements now are going to change a little bit.
Exactly.
I'm gonna buy this from you, but I can never amend it or use it for anything else. That obviously wasn't discussed. I'm gonna buy this. I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want with it. Of course, that's what we're doing.
Sure.
Yeah.
And again, I think what's most important though is as the industry changes, as you said before, as these conversations have happened in the past, generations ago, each generation has to figure out how to make sure that everyone gets their small piece of the pie. Because let's be honest, the film industry, as much as we love it, as much as we love films, as much as we love TV,
It's show business.
It is ran by greedy people.
Yeah, show business, right? It's a business.
And then it's ran by greedy people that will want every dime that they can get. And so I hope and I believe that this is a good thing, and hopefully the people that are on the bottom rung that are doing some of the most important work to make the things that we enjoy get their fair due.
Yeah, Ben.
Because to that point, though, the other side of that is, I could choose to say, okay, I can't afford to pay John every time I do this, so I put his logo on the back shelf. I create a logo myself that isn't as good, and then I just use that from now on because I have to, right? I can't afford to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So these studios can't afford, right? Because they made so billions of dollars to do all this stuff. But there is a conversation to be had there with. This mom and pop flea market that decided they want to hire a professional logo designer, and then moving forward, ChatGPT and whatever that AI graphic designer can help them grow their brand. At what level do they get successful enough that they have to start paying royalties backwards? If they truly are hand to mouth trying to make this work, and they know that I can't afford to spend $50 every single time I do a new thing on Facebook.
And that's why that's why the strike is happening. So they can figure out how writers get paid, and like if AI is used to take what they have already created and turn it into something completely different based on characters, environments, settings, that kind of thing. So
there's a huge conversation to be had there, and I'm honestly, I can see it from both sides, because if you're a small mom and pop and you can't afford it, well, I guess I just should never hire a graphic designer ever to do anything for me, because I know it would cost me money in perpetuity. I could never grow my brand because I'd always have to pay. I'd be beholden to this person that originally designed my design. Conversely, I'm a $1 billion corporation that took an idea with these characters that made me another $1 billion, and I'm going to make 9 sequels and fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
There are 2 extremes there.
All right, moving on. This is it. I hope you laughed the last 20 minutes.
That was a very in-depth conversation that we could just cut it all.
Well, and it's because this is a serious thing that's happening right now. The writer's strike is still going on. It looks like we might have to deal with an actor strike next because SAG-AFTRA, their deadline is coming up.
After what?
And if they strike,
that's
then
the joke,
that's going to make the situation even worse for studios, and it's going to make the situation worse for us because it could very well start delaying movies and TV shows, which is what happened with the last long strike. So,
and really, on this podcast, we just care about the movies, though.
Apparently.
Not the TV show. We're not a TV show podcast.
Hey, if you want to find back episodes, where do they go?
Go flixyourselfpod.com.
Correct. Hey, Brad, where can people find you online?
Oh, at Ethan_Anderton is where you can find me on the Twitter. Also, check out my Instagram. Look at Brad's Junk. I recently went to the Sweets and Snacks Expo in Chicago. Got a bunch of new snacks. Tried a bunch of things. Met a lot of people. I'll be posting about new stuff over there, and I will also
and
be
a new
bringing
Facebook page.
That's true. I have a new Facebook page. Feel free to check it out on Facebook. Brad's Junk. And Nate and Ben will be privy to some unique snacks that I got at the Sweets and Snacks Expo. So buckle up for that.
Oh, no.
And I want to implore you to go check out slashfilm.com where I edit and write, especially because recently me and some of the other Slash Film staff members recently made a list of Slash Film's 100 best movies of all time. This is a list that is unique to our site that some of the writers and editors came up with. And we did 2 long podcasts trying to come up with this list and break it down after having a number of lists come together and make a mega list, basically. And there was a lot of fun, spirited debate and conversation about some truly great movies. There's probably a lot of movies in there that maybe you haven't heard of or seen. Feel free to check it out on slashfilm.com. We had a lot of fun doing it.
Well, Ben and I are online as well. That's all.
Yeah, you can find us. This has been a fun and then a little boring and then fun and then boring podcast. So I'd like to apologize. We were off for 2 weeks, so this is going to be a longer one. It will be. It's okay. You missed us. You know you did. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Nah, cheating, eh?